Hi. Sorry, we let others come. So in our society, there have been large number of cases of COVID. In fact, yesterday, RWA got the entire test of maids, everything done. Very large number. We have been put bloody immediate alarm has been done. RWA office has been sealed, and suddenly a lot of proactive action is being taken.
Almost many have got positive.
हाँ, and especially जो हम लोग depend कर रहे हैं ना maids and all.
हाँ.
It is very serious. Maid आए सबसे पहले उसके हाथ धुलने चाहिए, bloody sanitize होना चाहिए और जितनी देर वो काम कर रहे हैं पूरे घर को मास्क लगाना चाहिए. And very limited exposure to whatever she has to do, and she should leave.
And we need to take a lot of precautions. I think.
Otherwise, today onwards we have become very serious about our issues.
Sir, you will share the PowerPoint presentation. Na?
I'll do that.
I will transfer to you, and then you can take.
I only find Sudeep Jaiswal. Others have not. They've abandoned post.
Others will join subsequently, sir, because they must be having tea.
हाँ, एक मिनट इसको यार हर बार participants 3 आ गए. ये हम लोग 3 ही हैं.
हम लोग 3 हैं.
हाँ, तो आने दो औरों को तब तक.
अच्छा, मैं फीडबैक फॉर्म उसको
अब वो तुम देते रहना, लोगों को आने दो. अच्छा, ये हमको बता देना, शेयर स्क्रीन तो हमें करना पड़ेगा ना.
मैं आपको ट्रांसफर कर देता हूँ होस्ट सर, फिर आप शेयर कर पाएंगे. अभी होगा.
फिर हम स्लाइडें अपनी शेयर कर पाएंगे ना. 4 हो गए यार. प्रियंका has arrived.
प्रियंका चौहान, she is
her video is off.
Coming in time.
Actually, हमें पता नहीं लगता है कि how many people who has come, who's not come and things.
Good evening.
Hi Priyanka, welcome. How many people since morning?
We have 14-15, sir.
14-15, okay. Doesn't matter. It is every time we have a law of depleting strength, and Mr. and Verma, as it is got dushmani with me. He always puts me at 4 o'clock. Half of people are sleeping. हमारा तुमने झाला हमेशा से 4 बजे रख दिया है.
आपका 4th क्लास है ना सर.
अगले सेशन में मैं कहूंगा मुझे सुबह. खैर हमारा ठीक है, makes no difference to me.
आपका सवेरे कर दूं सर? सवेरे
नहीं
12 बजे से कर देता हूँ. मैं लास्ट क्लास ले लेता हूँ.
4 o'clock is perfect, no problems.
सर अगला संडे को 6th of December, should I take 4th class?
No,
I will. हम लोग आपस में इंटरचेंज कर लेते हैं.
Absolutely no problem. Let me continue the same way. It has become my routine, and that has become your routine. Please let us continue that.
नहीं तो मैं आपको 12 बजे दे देता हूँ.
नहीं चाहिए, मुझे नहीं चाहिए, मैं लूंगा ही नहीं. तुम ऑन कर दो कि कोई आएगा.
ठीक है सर. Be happy about what we have.
हमारा इस वक्त ठीक है.
We'll continue like this.
हाँ, आधे स्टूडेंट तो वैसे ही भाग जाते हैं इस वक्त तक.
I will request all the students who have joined.
And I don't call them student. They are very academically inclined senior citizens of this country.
Sir, professionals. So
always give them.
Fill the form, feedback form also. Again, I am giving. Those who have done it, I think, thank you. And those who have not done it, please do it again.
Okay. As it is, there are just 3 of them as of now. हाँ भाई, माइक सबने बंद कर रखे हैं. अनुपमा ने अपना.
सर अभी 2 और आ रहे हैं. मैं जस्ट उनको एंटर करके फिर आपको ट्रांसफर करता हूँ.
हाँ. गुड.
तो अभी 7 हो गए सर आपके. सोनाक्षी निवेदिया इज आल्सो कमिंग.
मॉर्निंग में कितने थे?
14-15
सर.
कितने?
14-15.
Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Hi. Good morning. In fact, they are the same. I see some people are very sweet. They always come every time. Every week they are there. But most of the other fellows are like me only. They're shammers.
वो उनका आदत कुछ लोगों का बन गया रूटीन से. कुछ लोगों का नहीं बना है. Please tell
People
your friends and colleagues also to join the class.
I'm sure they must have made some WhatsApp group or something like that. I'm sure.
Yes, they are in that group.
Have you made, Sudeep?
Yes, sir, we have.
If you have.
Yeah.
Achha. Usme all of them. How many of them?
Good number.
Good number. Chalo, theek,
Yeah,
good,
just
good.
let me check the number.
You can share the screens.
Chalo. Should I
That
start?
WhatsApp group is made by ISTD, sir.
Okay. अरे यार तुम लोग कहाँ ISTD पे depend करते हो? You should have your own.
No, there's one more group. I think it has a huge.
There should be students group only where you can abuse the DS also, the instructor. कि अरे यार ये बोर कर रहा है, ये सुना रहा है, ये सो तो हमने तो बना रखा था जब हम थे ISTD.
There are 116 participants.
अच्छा. हम तो ड्यूरिंग द क्लास ओनली मैसेज भेज देते थे दूसरों को, यार ये बोर कर रहा है, इसको बोलो जाए, ये सब बोल देते थे.
So I tried initiating a group on WhatsApp, and there are not too many, maybe like 20-30 people in that group. The idea was the same like what you just mentioned, but there is one or two teachers.
That will keep everyone awake also. Please realize this.
Yeah, the purpose was that, but one of the teachers is also made part of the group now.
That is a cardinal sin. You should not do that. It's never done. How can you put a DS in the?
Oh, I sent a link for the WhatsApp group in the chat. You know, one day after the end of the class, so one or two teachers also joined. So.
अरे उनको बोलो, sorry, you are not part of the group. Please exit, or we will quietly remove them. No, we never did that damage to our group. And fortunate for us, we used to have physical classes, and lovely lunch and evening tea and morning tea at ISTD campus. But those days there was nothing called Corona, so it was very nice. Are there any more people joining? I don't know. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. हाँ भाई ठीक है, अभी शुरू कर दिया जाए. A request, at least few of us, few of you must keep your mic on so that I know what is happening, and respond once in a while so that I know that somebody is listening to me. Otherwise, I'll get a feeling that I am talking to a wall.
Sure.
Okay, I think we should commence in meeting at the admit all. Let me. हाँ, अभी हो गए, कितने हो गए? Shall we start?
Yes, sir, we can start.
There was a lady last time. There was a lady last time. She had said that I should repeat and start from World Cafe concept onwards. So we'll revert a little bit because we had to rush through last time when we interacted with each other. And I don't remember, I don't know whether it was Anupama or somebody who said ki projective technique and World Cafe, two concepts she wanted that they should be repeated. So we will start from that. Okay, let me, every time I have to go through the exercise of learning. So let me try to do that. Please respond if you find that my screen is not visible. If the slide is not visible, please let me know. Let me see. Are the slide visible?
Yeah.
Can you see a slide?
Yeah, we are seeing.
Okay, perfect. Shall we commence?
Yeah.
Okay. Just a second. यार ये क्या है? हाँ अभी ठीक है. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, what I recollect is that I don't remember the date, but one of the ladies had asked that we should recommence from World Cafe onwards. So we will first, there are two aspects which we were to cover last time we didn't cover. One was the projective technique and other was World Cafe. So we'll start with World Cafe. As you can see on the slide, basic concept is something like an atmosphere of a cafe being created where people sitting around a table and interacting with each other to basically formalize a solution to a complex problem. You see, all of us come with different backgrounds, different experiences, and different strata of society, as well as different outlook, different intelligence and thinking towards solving a same problem. You give the same problem, people will come out with 10 answers to that to find a solution to it. So the World Cafe concept is basically, as you can see on the slide, is that it's first of all, it is a collaborative dialogue where consensus is achieved by a group of people sitting around a table. And also it gives an opportunity to meet each other, interact with each other. There may be some people who belong to HR department, some to marketing, some to sales, some are the supervisors of the floor in the factory, where the entire thinking must be very different. So all kinds of people, when come under the same roof and same table they come to, then they interact and they understand each other's problems and and come out with a common solution to be resolved. That is one of the concepts. And connect diverse perspective. Everyone will have a different perspective to a problem. Gentlemen, please let me know if somebody wants to be added later. Okay, enter the. Where do I admit all? Okay. बीच में disruption होता ही रहेगा. चलो ठीक. Okay. इसको कहाँ से हटाऊं मैं? Now, that is the concept of World Cafe. Let's come to the second slide of. The World Cafe is built on the assumption that people already have within them the wisdom and creativity to confront even the most difficult challenges. That the answer we need are available within us, with us, and that we are wiser together than we are alone. So if there is a complex, somebody may be very good in terms of mathematics, somebody may be good in biological subjects. So all kind of people get together on a table and then they resolve the problem. Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Somebody?
Yeah.
So we can hear you. Yes, sir,
We can hear you.
Okay, okay, okay. Now, this is what the World Cafe concept is. Cafe assumptions are the knowledge and wisdom we need are already present and is accessible. Maybe with different people in the group of people. Intelligence emerges as the hello, somebody is speaking. May I request if you could switch off the mic? It will be nice. Very nice. Thank you. The intelligence as the system connects to itself creative ways. Can somebody speak who was wanting to know, understand what World Cafe is? There was a lady I remember. Possibly not attending today, I don't know. And collective insight. This is the basic concept as you see on the slide. Now, how it is conducted. You see, there are 3 progressive rounds of conversation. It is not necessarily 3. If a problem is more complex, there can be multiple rounds of conversations to be conducted. There are to basic World Cafe concept, there are 3 progressive rounds of conversation, with each round addressing one question. So you assemble 2-3 cluster of tables where people sit Suppose you create a cluster where one question is given to one table, another question to other table, a third, and these questions are interlinked with each other in terms of resolution of a problem. At the end of each round, the participants are invited to move to a different table. That means if there is a group of 4, 5 people or 10 people who have conducted an interaction at a particular table to resolve a question, to come out with a conclusive solution to that question, everyone's opinion is given. Why it is a cafe system? Because it should be very informal, where everyone gets an opportunity to speak, and there is others who must listen to each other, and the notes are made on the table. There is one gentleman who continues to stay there, he is more of an anchor. He is not, you can call him a chap who's not a moderator or anything. It is more of to maintain a continuity. It's kind of a host, he conducts himself. Now, at the end of each round, if you see the second bullet, the participants are invited to move to a different table. On the next table, another question is thrown, and that is, now they bring the wisdom of what they have interacted and decided on a previous table. And they say, in last table, we were discussing this, and this is what some people came out with, and things like. And thereafter, the new question is discussed while linking and connecting ideas with the previous conversation rounds. That means on the first table. And flip chart sheets and notes and everything can be made, and concepts can be explained on paper table. Everything is made available on the table itself. And to provide a creative visual memory of the conversation which has taken place. And thereafter, they move to the third table. For World Cafe guidelines are: focus on what matters, listen, and also understand. Basically, it is not what some people speak, the others must get into the habit of listening to what others have to say. Many a time we are opinionated and we try to impose our opinions. So World Cafe basically is a concept where everyone gets to give his opinions, and then a conclusive solution is found. You can see in the cycle, if you see, focus on the matter, what is the question, listen and understand what is this, and come to connect the ideas, play, doodle, draw, whatever that is the solution solving, and listen together for patterns, insights, and deeper connections. Contribute to your thinking. Contribute your thinking. That means when you are listening at the same time, you should also contribute from your own wisdom and experience, if you are from a particular field, so that it benefits others also who are on the table. There are certain cardinal rules of World Cafe. The ground rules are, it should be a relevant question. It should be relevant to the field in which the group is involved. Suppose you are conducting in a particular company, it should be relevant to the people who are participating, so that it develops an inquisitiveness in them, and they also come out with some kind of solution, and it should arouse a kind of passion in them to find a solution to a problem. It should be open-mindedness, self-explanatory, so you should be open to everyone's opinions. Accept everyone's opinions. Respect people. In fact, there may be some very outlandish ideas also, but please respect their this thing. No one should be cut down, and that is why it is given the name cafe, where interactive way may everyone is given equal opportunity. Collectiveness, again self-explanatory. Visualization means you sift everything to a piece of paper and then visualize how this thing, and it is informality is maintained. There are 7 design principles which we had talked of the other day when we spoke. that first is set the context. In what context you are conducting the World Cafe? That is very important. Create a hospitable space. There should be, it should not be a stiff collar kind of environment. It should be hospitable where people feel comfortable. And explore questions that matter to them. These are the principles. First is set the context. Second, create hospitable space for everyone. Third is explore questions that matter, that are relevant to that particular group of people. Encourage everyone's contribution. Fourth principle. मैंने अपने notes बना रखे हैं, मैं उसमें से बोल रहा हूँ. Encourage everyone to contribute. Connect the diverse perspective. The same problem may have different perspective by different people. So you must link them and connect the diverse opinions and perspectives. Listen together for the pattern and insights of people and share the collective discovery. In the end, for a more in-depth look at World Cafe design principle, hosting World Cafe, the fundamentals are learning program. ये सब तो तुम्हें जरूरत नहीं. It is of no use to you. Let me come to the next slide. Before getting started, each group will need to identify a table host. That I have already covered. He's not a facilitator. He's just a host, kind of an anchor who sits there, but he is not a moderator or a facilitator. Why? So that he can pass off the information of the previous group's discussion on that table to the next body of people who have arrived. He who remains at the table during the 3 conversations rounds. He welcomes the newcomers, shares the main ideas and themes and questions. That means whatever discussion was on the first question, then he shares them and encourages guests to link and connect with the idea. Using the flip chart sheet, basically what yes, what Angrezi word hai, flip chart. Otherwise, basically whatever has been discussed, he has made notes and he disseminates them to the new group of people who come. So there is so in order to maintain the continuity of the conversation, there is a need to have one gentleman who plays as the host. Now, don't go by this 10 minutes written down below. World Cafe interaction, question number 1. That is, all tables have one question. So this is a particular field in which you give about 10 minutes. You can give 15 minutes. Upper limit should be 20 minutes. Otherwise, it reaches a stalemate and no conclusive opinions get generated and conclusion doesn't take place. So it should be, upper limit is for more complex problems. You may put about 20 minutes. Otherwise, ideal is to keep 10 minutes or maybe 15 minutes for the first question which is being discussed on a table. After 10 minutes or so, or 15 minutes, whatever you people formulate, then the people move to the next table. Now, question for interaction 2, that is on the second table, builds on the first question oblique discussion. Now, please realize the first question is absolutely fresh, where interaction takes place to find a conclusive solutions. Now, in the second question, that first question has to be linked, and first question ke discussions also need to be linked, and they have to pass off to the next table. At the same time, the third tables of people who are coming on the first table, they bring a certain amount of solution. So it's something like a clockwork movement of people, and where everyone's opinion reaches every table and different type of solutions come. And relatively, since most of the discussion have already come and the solutions have been already listed out and given by the host himself to the new people who have joined that table. So time for discussion can be relatively reduced. It is not sacrosanct to have 8 minutes. It can be any time depending on the complexity of the problem. And then people, same body of people move to the same body doesn't move. They move to the different tables. Sorry, one important factor I didn't cover. The same body does not move to the second table or to the third table. It goes in various fields. It can go back to different, tables. It is not necessarily that they have to go to different next table. Sorry, मैं वहाँ पे दिखाता हूँ आपको एक picture उसमें. You see these pigeon chickens which are in various colors. Basically, the same way they should get mixed up again to connect diverse perspectives. And that is only possible if suppose there is a group of 9-10 people, 3 go to different tables, so that the ideas get transferred to all the tables. That is what the idea is. Okay. This is the third question we have come. Have we come to this slide? Was I on this slide, is it? And then they move to the third, and the previous two builds on the previous two questions and the fresh interaction which take place. After this, it can, if required, you can have more number of tables. Otherwise, normally teaching says about 2 to 3 tables they will reach as some kind of a solution. And then there are major advantages of World Cafe concept. One is that it creates camaraderie, interaction, and understanding of each other's problems. You see, a chap of marketing or a sales chap may not understand the problem of the chap who works on the floor of a factory. And a floor chap will not understand the problem of the sales wala, marketing wala, or accounts wala. So basically, when they in World Cafe concept, they understand each other's problems also, and there is a cohesiveness developed among them, and there is a collective wisdom gets shared, wherein they aim a collective goal achieving camaraderie also develops. This is what the concept of World Cafe is. Anything, if anyone wants to throw some light on it, one can speak. Otherwise, we'll proceed further. Okay, then we'll go to next. Next, ladies and gentlemen, we had missed out on projective technique last time because not missed out exactly, we had rushed through. So on the request of somebody, I thought it should be repeated. That's why I kept projective technique. Now in this, first of all, it is very self-explanatory. Somebody can read the slide quickly, if somebody whose mic is on. It's very self-explanatory, although. Can somebody please? Shalu?
Yes, sir. Rupesh,
yeah, okay. Yeah.
An unstructured, indirect form of questioning that encourages respondents to project their underlying motivations, beliefs, attitudes, or feelings regarding the issues of concern. In projective techniques, respondents are asked to interpret the behavior of others. In interpreting the behavior of others, respondents indirectly project their own motivations, beliefs, attitudes, or feelings into the situation.
Okay, basically, ladies and gentlemen, this is a kind of a psychometric test. And it is the, you see, they are unstructured, indirect forms of questioning. There is a vagueness which has been kept in this, which encourages the respondents to project their underlying motivations. When they see a certain, when we continue with further slides, you will understand. Basically, you give an unstructured, indirect form of question to somebody and he responds to it. The moment he responds to it, how does he respond? He responds based on his motivations, his beliefs, his attitudes, his emotional feelings, his background, his social background, and his financial background, various other facets in his brain which work, and he responds accordingly. Then you make an assessment about that personality. In projective technique, respondents are asked to interpret the behavior of others. Now, how it can be done? In terms of, there are various methods of doing it. We will come to that subsequently. He sees a particular image or an individual, and then he responds to it. And he has, again, based on whatever his motivations or beliefs or whatever it is, based on that, he responds to it. In interpreting the behavior of others, respondents indirectly project their own motivation, beliefs, attitude. Have you understood? Basically, I'm trying to explain it. Vague question is thrown, on that he responds based on his whatever personality traits are, based on that is motivation, belief, attitude, and things like. And by responding in a certain manner, he actually projects his own personality traits. This is an art which is utilized by the army, by the defense forces, while selecting people in the service selection boards. The same, actually from that, it has been now adapted in the corporate world while selecting people for the leadership positions. And the more complex it becomes as they grow in service or the senior levels. Now, their personality traits are very important. You see, as you, if there is a very negative thinking gentleman sitting on top, you will find the output of that company, the morale of that company, anything and everything starts nosediving. It does not, it doesn't remain a progressive company. It doesn't flourish. It doesn't improve. Even the employees start resigning, leaving out. So it all depends. If you have selected a wrong man as a leader, and then obviously the company will nosedive. If the right man has been selected, he is very positive, he gives positive stroke to the staff, he evaluates things correctly, obviously the company will flourish. Case in point, somebody who got in legacy, like Vijay Malaya got everything in legacy. His father was a visionary who created a big asset. And he, in one tenure of his 10, 15 years, 20 years, he really plundered the whole place and went into debt. It is all the personality traits on which the companies serve. You see Infosys, the owner, how he started and where he is today. His own son-in-law is now the finance minister of UK. So all this, this matters while selecting a leader of a place. And it is extremely important in the army with service selection boards. Reason is we play with the life of subordinates under us. So they ought to be right people to be selected. If you get one wrong man, he can cause considerable damage to human resource. And that is why the army is so strict on psychometric tests, which are selected, which are done in the SSB. Okay. Accordingly, this is the definition. And Sonakshi, can you read it? I won't ask Meena. She's always a volunteer every time.
Sir, it's written that a psychological test in which words, images, or situations are presented to a person and the responses analyzed for unconscious expression of elements of personality that they reveal.
Now, explain. Can you understand? I'm sure you understood the sentence. The same thing which we were talking just now. It says a kind of a test, which is a test in which words, images, or situations. There can be words given, leading words by that. He has to respond to that. He may be shown some images on which he responds to that. And he's given some situations which he responds to. There are three things. Psychological test in which words, comma, images, or situations are presented to an individual person, and how he responds to that is basically analyzed for his unconscious expressions. His subconscious, whatever is playing in his mind based on his personality, those elements of that personality, they get highlighted, they get revealed.
Yes, sir. Anupama here.
Yeah, Anupama.
Yeah, sir. So in our college, we had few tests, and they were in personality tests. We did in psychological tests. We did the projective side,
Yeah.
and in that we did two of them. There was ink blot,
Yes.
Rorschach's ink blot test,
Perfect,
and the other
perfect.
one was sentence completion test.
Now, Anupama, you have to take this class. Now we come to the second point. Kindly cover this.
Okay, so a projective test is a personality test designed to let a person respond to ambiguous stimuli, presumably revealing hidden emotions and internal conflicts projected by the person into the test. So this purely talks about personality in every possible way.
Anupama, deliberately, because you are basically not telling me, you are explaining a thing which is for the rest of the audience also, to do it in a very deliberate manner.
Okay, I'll try.
It
So,
doesn't matter.
so I'll take an example like sentence completion test, which is very easy than Rorschach ink blot test.
Yes.
So it's
What is Rorschach test you explain to people?
It's again there are few images which are made through ink on a different kind. It's not a normal paper, but it's a different one. So whichever image pops in your mind, whatever you think about, you have to talk about. You have to actually let it out. I mean, that's the whole point.
Basically, it's an image and you interpret that image.
Yeah, it could be a but
And, that interpretation may differ from individual to individual based on his own psyche. What is his psychological point of mind?
And that talks about the personality based on their childhood and adulthood,
bringing up and various other facets.
Yeah.
So based on that, he responds to a stimulus in a certain manner. That is
it's basically for understanding in given situations. Supposedly, if something, if a person has the capacity to, the ability to understand their unconscious emotions, motives towards some any stimuli that can happen in future.
Okay. And आगे चलो इसी में पूरा और करो, presumably revealing hidden emotions and internal conflicts projected by the person into the test. What do you understand by internal conflicts?
So we read about so in Freud psychology we read about it.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking you. You are a psychology student?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then you are the right woman. You should cover everything today.
So I'll try.
Okay.
So just give me 1 second, actually.
Yeah. क्या हो गया माइक?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, the same slide.
Okay. हो गया ना अभी?
Yes, sir.
Anything more you want to add to it?
No, sir. It's just it's a very personality-based concept that.
Okay. That's why now you correlate. This is the same thing which is shown in the same. It's only the jargon given in these definitions makes it very complex for no reason at all. It is. Hello.
Yes, sir. Priyanka this side.
Yeah, Priyanka.
Sir, what she mentioned is like Anupama is mentioning. So first point is very, very clear, like in plot wherein we see the same image is given to, let's say there are 50, like there are 11 participants in the group. So same image would be given to everybody, and how each of us are revealing, interpreting that image.
Yes.
Our own experience is something which first she mentioned. Now in this also, like you said that what is internal conflict. So let's say there are certain situations wherein I think I myself not clear with it, but that what is right. Let's say we take a very, I'm sorry, no offenses, but then when I'm saying that when I go to get a driving license, so there are two options. Or let's say when we go for passport verification, I recall my initial days when I went for the verification. So the person said, when I went there, then he said that your signature are not matching what you have done here. So then there was a conflict. Now, what am I supposed to do? Shall I give him 1,000 works, which actually he was looking for, because I have seen that, or shall I stick with this? So there was a value conflict actually. So so basis this also my answer can be different, or my personality can be different.
In fact, you have given a very good example, because there are some people who feel that anything and everything can be done with money. There are some things cannot be done with money.
Yes.
There are people who don't take bribe.
True.
And if you come across those people, and you will get embarrassed if you offer them. But some people assume that there cannot be somebody who can do things without taking any money. So again, there is a how you have been brought up, what environment you have been brought up, what ifs. There are some people who, for them, money is everything. They have the value system is based on money only. And there are some people who, for them, where money makes no difference at all, where their values are more important to them. So you've given a very beautiful example. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Now, since we have talked of the techniques, these are the type of projection techniques which are utilized. We'll go one by one to the, but basically all of them are not that important. First is most important one, pictorial projective technique. These are the tests which we have just spoken about. Second test is thematic appreciation test. We also call it, what do you call it, Anupama? TAT.
TAT.
Yes, sir.
Basically, these are most important ones. Otherwise, there are a number of small tests.
Sorry.
Okay. Then second one is verbal projective technique. What exactly do you understand by that, Anupama? Now I'll focus on you since you are a student of the same subject.
So we haven't done this one.
It's very simple. What is so special in this?
What I can say is we're given a few words, I guess. The word says it here. I mean, verbal projective technique means the pictorial one was only using our eyes, what we see and what our brain recollects based on our past experiences and everything. And then we talk about the verbal stuff. So when it could be some words that might have some trigger.
It could be word, it can be audio.
Yeah.
And it can
anything
be anything
that triggers you and makes you act on your impulse is what I think.
And the last one is sentence completion. You have a half done sentence, then you can.
We've done this, yeah.
You must have done all this.
Yeah, in this, the instructions were clearly given that the subject should not be thinking more than a few seconds to even answer, because that's the whole point of taking the test.
Okay, so good.
And it can be different scenarios based on different themes.
Yes. Now let's come to few of these are the tests which are common. We should forget about it. Otherwise, they are quite good number of them look akin to each other. We'll confine to first two, which are most important. This already Anupama has covered. Now, anyone else who can interpret, first of all, this is the history. This scientist had developed this in 1921. I think he's from Denmark, Germany or Denmark, I've forgotten where. Anupama, where is he from?
So I don't know, but I know that TAT was from someone from Harvard University. I know about TAT.
I think this gentleman was from Denmark, most probably. And he developed this test, psychological test in which subject perception of ink blots are recorded and then analyzed. Now, this is more for benefit of others. This test originally was for depression, schizophrenia, and anxiety disorders. This test was utilized. Now, these are the images. Can you see on the slide?
Yes, sir.
They are called the ink blot images. These are the images which he projected. इसमें क्या है कि one piece of paper पे ink is put and the paper is folded and opened up. And a certain image develops. If you see the images, you can make out there is a paper folded and then again opened it halfway. And then the image gets developed, symmetrical image gets developed. And that if these images were utilized by him to project, to interpret the psychological bent of mind or makeup of the individual who was shown and was made to react to these images. There were total of 10 cards. Anupama, is there anyone else also who is from the same field? No one. Okay, Anupama, can you throw some light on this? We should complete it. There are 10 cards. Anupama, mic बंद कर दिया क्या तुमने? Hello.
Mic is not working, sir.
Okay. That doesn't matter. Basically, what he had come out with were 10 cards. There were black and white 5, 2 colored, that is with some red ink, multicolored 3 of them, and upside down position, seating side by side, 1 card at one time in the same order. There was a sequence in which these cards had to be given. And it is not very relevant to, since I'm not a psychology student, I really can't say how, but most probably they are utilized for selecting the leadership or interpreting the leadership quality in terms of the leaders at various levels in a particular organization or corporate. The other is, this is called TAT test, the thematic appreciation test. It's a projective psychological test. Proponents of the technique assert that subject interprets it. He is told to make a story. Now, this is the test also used again in the SSB, wherein they show you certain pictures, images, and thereafter they expect you to react to them. They give you the time to up to 2 minutes on each picture to write a story. And based on that, in the story which you write in 2 minutes about that picture, they analyze your personality. What kind of a personality you are made of, and what is the bent of mind you have, whether positive, negative, retrograde, regressive, or self-preservation, all kinds of things what are your personality traits, they get highlighted in that. And these are interpreted by the psychologists who sit in the SSB panel. The images could be of any type. Few of the images are something like this. They are very famous images. These ones which are used in these drawings. In fact, it is as big as, it is reasonably large, and it is flashed for some time, and thereafter you are supposed to write a story. I have put 2 images together in that, otherwise it is 1 image at a time. Now you see on the left side, there is an image and there is an interpretation. We'll come to that image again. It is just an example I was giving. Okay. Now, how does it work? The TAT was developed during 1930s by the American psychologist Henry. Yeah, Anupama was right. And 3 sets of cards, A, B, C, D, total cards as given on the slide. Now there are cards. There are 31 cards. 1 card is blank out of it. And 10 cards are developed in a manner that they are shown to the boys only. Like the interpretation, it also is interpretation of a particular image or a situation may differ from a woman to a man. Man may think differently and woman may see differently. So the cards also formulated accordingly, 10 for the boys and 10 for the girls, and 10 are common, which are for girls and boys both are shown. Mainly men and women both are shown, so that their interpretation is common on those 10 cards. Few of the images I'd like to show to you after some time. I'll subsequently I have in the slides. Now, initially less ambiguous cards are shown, then highly ambiguous cards are shown to tell as dramatic a story as possible. to tell as dramatic a story as they can for each picture presented, including the following. What has led up to the event shown? Suppose there is an event shown in that picture, they have to first build up a story from the back and what the characters are feeling and thinking. Now in that particular image, suppose there is the whatever characters are there, what is playing in their mind, that has to be interpreted, and what is the outcome of the story. What the outcome of the story was. Have you understood? What is they are required to give the background. Suppose there is an image shown, then they have to show create a certain background they have to write. Then they write what is happening in the picture at this point to people. Unke dimag mein kya chal raha hai, and thereafter what it will conclude to, what will it lead to, something like that. Many a time, जैसे if you see पहले होती थी comics होती हैं Phantom की और वो Archie comics and things like. So they show images and they write dialogues. Now, if you see those dialogues are written by somebody who's created that comic, and many a time they make a वो cloud जैसा with the thinking, what is playing in his mind. It's a very good example of thematic test. Basically, these are the magazines which are thematic magazines, all these comic books and all which are made. Then is the verbal projective test, which of course Abhi Anupma had covered. A thematic appreciation test, then is sentence completion test, SCT. It is a combination. Verbal projective test is basically TAT and SCT, sentence completion test. It is developed by gentlemen from India only, University of Madras. And verbal pictures will be presented to the subject, requesting him to write a story on it. Rest, of course, there are various other types of tests. That is word appreciation test. Can you see my cursor, which I am showing, pointer? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
This is word appreciation test. A word is shown and then they are told to interpret the meaning out of it. Now, since Anupma has covered most of it already, so we will come to that quickly so that we will just flash through this because most of it Anupma has well covered, most of it. This is one test, ink blot test, which is very, very common. And in the exam, they can ask you a short note on it if required, because they can ask, and kindly remember these abbreviations, TAT and SCT. SCT they may not ask, VAT they may not ask, TAT they can ask. They may just write a short note on TAT. Now, it is no big deal. TAT, half of you may not understand what TAT is. Basically, thematic appreciation test, and you can write a short note. So I thought these things, for the exam point of view, also one should know them. And isme ink blot test we've already covered. Somebody to quickly read so that we can proceed further. If this is okay, forget it. I'll read. The most widely used projective test, set of 10 ink blots that seek to identify people's inner feelings by analyzing their interpretation of the blot. Now, this is the blot. Now, you see, this can be interpreted by various people in multiple ways. Somebody may interpret differently, somebody may interpret this thing. हमारे जैसा उसको बीच में दिखेगा Jesus Christ की image. Somebody may consider them as elephants, or somebody may consider butterfly or bat or something. चिमगादड़ दिखाई देगा